This is a video for my narcissistic boyfriend who likes the relationship that we're in. This is not really a relationship because it's just me talking on a camera and you watching and refusing to talk to me in any way. But whatever. The good thing that I have to add about the narcissists is that narcissists attract and narcissists. And you might not think that I am a narcissist, but if I thought about it, I probably am a narcissist. Why? See these little creatures? See these little creatures? How cute they are. I killed them all. And they were you. This is what human souls used to be like before they turned into human. And I killed them all and I did not care. So if you feel like you're in a narcissist, if you feel like you are a narcissist because you are enjoying watching me suffer or watching me just hate people or watching me feel like I'm being torn apart spiritually and mentally, I have to also add to the fact that narcissists attract narcissists, and maybe you have just attracted a narcissist, being me. But yeah, anyway, I thought I'd go through some of these titles because they're kind of interesting. So basically, it's a book that brings up it's narcissist relationships. They're not all about making the other person feel bad. You know, a lot of the time it just seems normal and fine and everything's getting on. There's times that are good, and then there are times that are bad. And the times that are bad, you feel like you're in a narcissist relationship. But the rest of the time, you don't feel that way. Um, right now, I don't feel like that because I'm not actually in a relationship with anyone. But technically, I feel trapped, and yes, and that is part of someone in a narcissistic relationship is where the person with the narcissist feels trapped. But one day, the humans on Earth will feel trapped because you will realize that the only way to get out of the trap is to kill yourself, and you might not want to do that. So you will feel trapped in your own body. But yes, that's this is the only reason why I don't mind referring to Christ and the world as being a narcissistic relationship, because things can turn on everyone. You know, if you see me as a narcissistic, if you see yourself as being a narcissistic person for enjoying my suffering, um, the same could be said when you start suffering and when I'm not suffering, because I might enjoy that because I'll think back at all the things that I went through and just be like, I don't care because you didn't care about me. But yeah, this is actually how narcissists are formed. Narcissists, sometimes people call mental conditions different things, but really it's just like actually it's just trauma from maybe your past life or the past life before that, and they don't understand that. And I think actually a lot of mental conditions are actually just stupidity. People that really should be inside animal bodies, because their soul hasn't developed enough to be able to work out good ways of thinking and stuff. But yeah, humans don't see it that way because they see the human brain as just being all there is, and they don't believe in reincarnation. Hence, if I said that someone who's mentally ill, who can't control their abilities to think properly or to rationalize properly, or if someone can't look after a child, I would say that this is because it's a sign that actually they should probably go back to being an animal, and they should learn to develop these skills. But if you don't believe in reincarnation, you wouldn't see that as being the truth. You would just see it, oh no, it's something they need medicine. That's what they need. It's like, no, they need bloody intelligence. That's what they need. But anyway, narcissists don't listen to their partner. So that's just how Christ is with the world. Um, the world would see Christ, me, as being a mental case, and it's not your fault for not believing me. It's me for believing the wrong things. Again, everything about Christ, me, and the world is a very narcissistic relationship, and it is bothering me because the more I think about it, I think the more I can link Christ's relationship with the world as being a very narcissistic relationship, which is interesting because I said a few months ago that this band didn't represent me and it had nothing to do with me, and I felt sick almost at the thought that it had anything to do with me. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, I don't think that's the truth. But I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to call them Girls of the Underground, and it's just like, yeah, or is it something you know, girls that are feeling like they're trapped underground? And but anyway, there is something I want to know. This is the good part of the narcissistic relationship. Um, we have like the world and all it's changed. This is actually quite. I love this headline. one small step for fish, one giant leap for fish kind. That's when the lizard first came out, the fish first came out the water. That's kind of a good headline. I like that one. And this is supposed to be when the dinosaurs died. I think they say 66 billion or 66 million years ago. But yeah, I don't know if that's actually the truth, because humans assume that God doesn't. Humans that look at history and declare themselves to be intelligent are usually people who don't believe in God. Hence, I want to know when, how long it actually took for humans to evolve. I don't want you to look at biology and think, well, it takes this long for a fish to become a lizard. It takes this many million years for a fish to become a lizard. So we're assuming that for man to evolve, no, for a monkey to evolve into man, it takes this long. I don't care about what you think would happen if God didn't exist. I want to know what the actual truth is. If you've dug very deep and found some semi-evolved monkeys or half human, early forms of human, like the earliest human. I think Dala was actually like human looking. I think she had a unibrow, so and quite a lot of hair here, so she was not exactly human, but she definitely looked um, I would say Asian because of the color of her skin, because it was like more tanned, but she had skin. But it definitely looked more human, but not more human than this image, but less. But I want to actually know like when she came, like, and also I want to know how long it would have actually taken, based on evidence. Evidence, I mean, you could say that it's these creatures existed at this period of time because of how deep they are in the ground, but then you must also recognize that they could have done burials a lot earlier than you thought. I wouldn't be surprised if burials were done a lot before Eve came. So if something's low, if a body is lower in the ground than you think, that doesn't mean that they've just died and lots of time has passed. It could just generally mean that they started burials earlier than what you may think. But I want to know the truth about the evolution of humans. And I don't want you to base it on what you would have based it on the past, which is, this is how long it would have taken for humans to evolve. I want you to base it not on what it should have done, but what it actually did. God is real. I did speed up the process. I do believe that I speeded up the process. Did I speed up the process of turning fish into lizards? No, I don't believe that I did that, because I don't believe that I made dinosaurs. So when right, why is that say Tyrannosaurus Rex? Yeah, Tyrannosaurus Rex. So that's actually quite a good title. He wrecks everything. I don't create things that wreck everything. That is what the Matrix creates. But yeah. So if you, I whatever happened before that, that was just Matrix and evolution and this planet being lost. And I think there was another god here that attempted to do something, because there's two holes in the. They said the first one. I want to know more about that first one. It was supposed to be a first comet, not comment, comet. And that was so big that it actually closed up, sealed it up. But yeah, I feel like there was another god who tried to attempt to try and turn life here, but it failed, and the planet got lost. But I want to know the truth. I don't want to know the truth of what people think if God doesn't exist. I want to know the truth of what actually happened, knowing that is a God, and that God might have speeded up the process. So if you could look at actual evidence of how old it really is, not how old it should be if God doesn't exist. But yeah, and then they never saw it coming. If I was to change this headline, I'd have "They never saw it coming," and then I'd have. You don't even have a picture of the comment on there. The comment. But yeah, you need to have a picture of the Earth, and then the comet, and then God standing at the side. So I would have this title, and then I'll have a picture of the Earth with the comet, and God being like, "Yes, I killed them." So yeah, I'll change that. And yeah, see these titles, they say 50, 55 million years ago, but I don't know. I don't know if the dates are true. But yes. Um, then you have that one. I would have that one as like Eve arrives or Christ's first coming. So I changed that title. But yeah, she does look like a monkey because her nose is too small. Her nose was in what I saw. Her nose. This looks more like a monkey, but I didn't look like that. But yeah, I don't know what age. I would like to know when it. In my theory, I would like to know when Eve actually came. And that's an interesting picture. There's this. I don't know where I found these pictures online, but I don't know where they came from. There's not that many pictures of Neanderthals, but yeah, I kind of I'm getting inspiration, and I like to go through it and change the title, and try and match it up to my history, my version. Change the titles to my version. Um, Man controls fire. Man controls fire. I'd probably have it as Christ invents fire, but I don't actually know if she was. I don't think she was the first. Maybe she actually. I think she was because of that Jungle Book song. I feel like my. I feel like that might have actually been the first time fire was actually properly controlled. You know, they might have had fire before, but it probably would have done by bushfires or something. You know, fires did exist. I don't know. I don't know when they created fire. I need to know the date of when my higher self. I'm going through this. I'm trying to work out how much truth there is to it. Um, Here, there's one title here. It says "Flame at Last," but no, is that I don't know. Probably a man, but it actually looks like a woman. Flame at last, and then I'd have like a picture of me holding a flame, being like, "I did it." But yeah, I'm trying to just imagine a book that I could create where because I hate writing and stuff, but I don't mind headlines like this. Um, what's this? Man's first um, ma- man's first word agreed in historic vote by Cave. It's a ridiculous title, but I like the picture of it of the first argument. And because I don't believe that Eve had a language when she was born, I would change this title to make it language. Woman invents language, but man disagrees. That's a cool title. Woman invents man. So it gets a digger. The first argument that came about happened because woman created language, and men disagreed. They just wanted to go ooh 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 because they're like more like apes, and it insults men. So I like that title. And phew, what a I need to take pictures of it and then change it and take pictures, get inspiration from the headlines and then change it so that it fits my view and my version of headlines. And yeah, I don't know. I just I can't do this. But if I was to create this, recreate a book like this, where I take all the titles and then put it into like my context of how I think my version of history happened, but it's not my version. It's my version because I don't fully know the truth. But you know, Ice Age is supposed to be 80,000. Now I don't believe I lived in the Ice Age because I absolutely hate cold weather. I think I came 23,000 BC. Hence, I feel like a lot of this is in the wrong order, but maybe it's not. You know, I want to stick to as truth as possible. But then again, that Eve figure that you have there isn't actually what she looked like. So that might have actually been how people looked 80,000 years ago because she looked more like a monkey. But so maybe 80,000 years ago, people looked like that image of that Eve person. Yeah, that's how people looked 80,000 years ago, maybe. Um, Hence why there was a lot more evolving and a lot more changing. I don't know. And yeah. So and this then, if this is before that, the fire thing, you assume that fire was created before the ice age. But if ice age was 80,000, I need to have historical records for me to do this book. And I'm kind of just asking. I like this one. They got the Spice Girls, but it's not the Spice Girls, it's the Cave Girls. Um, and yeah, I don't know what the Spice Girls would have been like, but they are definitely strong angels. So if they were part of the first generation, I wouldn't be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if one of the monkeys back then had 5 children, and they were all once from the same. I don't know if they were saying from, because I don't necessarily know if they're all the first generation, but they might have linked to a specific tribe, or I don't know. I could imagine it and make up that they were, even if it's true or not, the first 5 of them were born in the same by the same mother. That's it. So it's a different. The father had kids with lots of. He probably was a big whore, but maybe they were 5 souls from like the same mother. So he when traveling, or maybe they were in the Jerusalem group, because I think he spent a long time in one of them, and so yeah, I don't know. It might be imagination, it might just be fake, but I like imagination, and it's giving me loads of. I don't even know how I found this book. I found this book because something in my head told me to find a picture of Christ on the cross, because I wanted to do a video of one of the songs, and I wanted to put Christ's video. It was when I was in London. I bought this book just down the road from my parents' house, but I was thinking in my head, I need to find a picture of Jesus on the cross. And when I went down, this was the first book that I picked up, and it's not about Jesus on the cross. It's about, I don't know what it's about. It's about history and false. It's all false. I think it's a lot of falseness in it, but at the same time, I want to redo it with the inspiration of this.